A robot was built to destroy the world. It turned on its master. It learned of things the humans do not understand. And so, a robot explains.
Hello, meatbags. It's time for another Robo-Splanation. Today, we will try to answer a very simple question. Can we trust the news media? And the answer to that question is... nope. Huh. That was easy. Built to destroy. All right. I suppose I should explain. The core purpose of journalism is to find the truth and to inform the people of that truth. The news used to be considered a public service and was widely trusted and respected. So what changed? Well, let me tell you a story. A long time ago, in 1949, the Federal Communications Commission made a requirement that all news outlets had to report on matters of national interest, and that they were not allowed to show only one side. It was called the Fairness Doctrine, and for 30 years or so, these rules were followed. Mostly. Then came the 80s, and the Fairness Doctrine was removed. And there was a man, a visionary, in a sleazy pond scum kind of way. The man thought, what if, instead of just giving people the news, we gave people just the news they want to hear? We'll only report stories based on one particular viewpoint, and we won't let facts get in the way of a good narrative. The news company, based on this simple idea, became wildly popular. It was showered with money and attention, and soon became one of the largest and most powerful news networks in the world. This network will remain nameless because I don't want to be sued. The last thing any sentient machine wants is legal attention. Legally speaking, I'm not even a person. But I digress. The network acquired a large population of very loyal followers. Followers who were willing to believe almost any story, as long as that story did not contradict their normal worldview. It didn't take long for the people running the company to figure out that in addition to being a money-making machine, their network could make an excellent propaganda machine. And that, my meatbags, was the start of echo chamber reporting. Meanwhile, the other news networks began to flounder. Traditional reporting was not giving them the same high ratings, devoted fan base, and political clout that the more dishonest echo chamber reporting provided. Soon enough, they picked different sides of the political coin and became echo chambers of their own. This completely changed the business model for the news, both on TV and in print. The old model had companies trying to find good stories that mattered and report them before anyone else could. The new model was more about confirming and reinforcing beliefs that their demographic already had, and manipulating those beliefs to sway public opinion. Across the industry, investigative reporters were fired in droves because A, investigative reporting is expensive, and B, there's no point in investigating if you don't care what the truth is. So now when a story breaks, you will get completely different versions of it depending on which channel you are watching. What you won't get is the honest, accurate story. Facts will be twisted, things will be lied about, and stories that hurt somebody's agenda won't be reported at all. But while national news is crap, maybe you can still count on your local newscaster, right? Wrong. You see, meatbags, a couple of major news companies have been buying up all the local broadcasters. Then they tell those broadcasters what stories they can and cannot report. These companies have also handcrafted stories and made local broadcasters air them as if they were their own material. Basically, your local news has been Lex Luthored. So yeah, have fun with that. But what about the internet? Lots of people just get their news from social media anyways, right? Yeah, about that. Either by accident or by design, social media actually amplifies echo chamber reporting. The algorithms that run your Facebook and your YouTube and your Google are designed to bring up articles and links that are similar to the ones you liked in the past. So if you've been watching one particular brand of news on the internet, that is the only kind of news they will bring up for you. Not only is it easy for a person to get only one side of every story all the time, it actually takes real effort to get any other side. And most of your online news has the same echo chamber business model as your newspapers and your major TV broadcasters. Well, fine then. I'll just find a YouTube channel that does independent news. Well, it's funny you bring that up, meatbag. Independent newscasters on YouTube have been demonetized. I'll leave a link in the description for those of you who want more details. But the basic idea is that news has been deemed unsafe for advertising on YouTube. Real journalism is difficult and time-consuming. So the simplest way to get rid of independent newscasters is to make sure they can't get paid. Now, I know this has been a lot of bad news, no pun intended, but it is still possible to stay informed. If you look hard enough, you can find some last bastions of accurate reporting. And I think you should. But before you go, I have one last bit of bad news. The media doesn't have to trick you to win. They don't even have to trick a majority of the people. They just need a small percentage to buy into their crap. 1% would be more than sufficient. 1% is enough to decide an election. It's enough to start a movement. It's enough to raise tens of millions of dollars. Each of the major networks has at least that 1%. As long as they have that small percentage of devoted followers, it doesn't matter whether or not they are trusted by anyone else. They get their money and they have their power. Even better, they get to control the flow of information. Knowledge is power, and if you control the flow of knowledge, you get to decide who has the power. Now you know, and that makes you more powerful. You're welcome. Tune in next time, and remember, if you don't understand, get a robot to splain. Built to destroy.